The first meso bag I made was actually 2 to 3 years ago. So it started when someone gave me this thrifted jacket. They gave me the jacket because they said, I thought the fabric was really nice. Maybe you would want to do something with it. So I just kept thinking about what I could make with it. And I had recently gotten into climbing just a little bit. So I thought, why don't I make a chalk bag, because I kind of needed one. This was the first one I made, and looking back on it, it wasn't the best. And you can even see here, there's the original pocket line from the jacket that I just kept. I kind of just did it for fun. I didn't really have a plan in mind. But then after I posted that one, a lot of people were interested in buying one. So then I decided to make another one, and that's when I made this one. I only made like 5 or 6 of these because even though this looks like a really simple bag, it took a lot of trial and error, especially when you're trying to make it functional but also still committed to a certain aesthetic. Like, I didn't want to use plastic or anything that you wouldn't exactly find in a Maplestory world. So I only made five or six of these, and then I sold those, and I kind of just left it. Surprisingly, I would get like a couple messages like asking if I was gonna put these back in stock, and I thought it was really interesting because I was wondering how people were finding this, but I didn't think too much of it. Okay, so kind of just left it, and I didn't really check back on it. Around 2 years later, I found that the official Maplestory account had actually shared one of my original photos of the meso bag. And it was crazy because I didn't find out about this until like 2 years later. And then I realized this was probably how people were finding the meso bag. And so I was still getting messages here and there from people asking me to make more or saying that they wanted to buy one. I didn't want to relist it because I knew if I was going to make another one, I would want to make it differently, kind of more accurately to the original icon. All the fabric that I buy now has to come online, and online shopping for fabric is really tricky because you don't know exactly what you're gonna get unless you order it first, or you can order samples. That's actually what took the longest time, I think, in the whole trial and error and prototyping for this, is trying to find the right fabric. I was thinking like how an actual meso bag would look like, and I thought that if it's something like a traveler is gonna carry around with them all the time, then it has to be durable, right? It has to be kind of like heavyweight. So I found this nice fabric. I think it's perfect. I think the color matches very well, and it also has a nice texture to it. It's brushed, but it's also very heavyweight. I had a lot of trouble finding a matching lining for it, and I wanted to stick with fleece again in case people still wanted to use this as a chalk bag. And I also like using fleece because it adds a very nice like thickness and plushness to the bag as well. At first, I wanted to add some nice grommet detailing to the bag for the drawstring outlet. You can see I kind of did it here, but with embroidery, but this time I actually wanted to add actual metal hardware. So I tried doing that, and I ran into a lot of problems. I just think the grommets that I bought weren't the best. Like, the rim wasn't wide enough, so the fabric kept pulling out. And then I didn't want to use regular silver grommets because I felt like that wouldn't fit, the scheme of the bag. So I just decided to completely scrap the grommets and to just leave it as an opening in the back. And I honestly think this looks a lot better. Usually for drawstrings, the way you thread it is you have to thread it around twice so that once you pull the cord, the entire thing tightens. But the thing is, this rope is so thick, I only really could loop it around once. So to close it, you just have to like pull each side a little bit at a time. And then to finish off the end of the drawstring or the cord, the first one I did, I finished it off with these gold end caps. I didn't really like that I had to finish it off with these gold end caps. I just didn't know how else to. I didn't like it because I just had to glue these on, and I don't like gluing parts on. So first I tried to just tie it into a knot, but I felt that was too bulky. So I found how to do what is called like a whipping finish from one of those like bushcraft YouTube tutorials, and I think it's perfect for the bag, and it's not as bulky and it looks really nice. It's actually my favorite part of the construction is actually doing the whipping. I think it's really fun, but I don't know if it's still gonna be my favorite part after I do it like 50 more times. I also reinforced the bottom with a little bit of interfacing so it is very sturdy. I did put a lot of thought and a lot of effort into making these. I hope you guys can tell. So if you're interested in buying one of these, I have them up on my Etsy shop. As you can see, I did make a few, but depending on how it sells, I could make more. I think this is a great gift just for nostalgia if you played Maplestory when you were a kid like I did. You can use it as a bag, or you can also just keep it kind of as a plushie on display.